people, today we're going to do the second part of lesson 7. It's kind of unrelated to the first part of the lesson 7. They're just both short. And it's all about energy efficiency. So what can homeowners do to use energy more efficiently? Now, there's a couple of reasons why we want to use energy efficiently. One, because every joule of energy you use, you have to pay for. So every lamp that's on right now, your parents are paying for that lamp to be on. The longer it's on for, the more energy it uses, the more you have to pay. So if there are some small things you can do to make your house more efficient, then you should do them. And then if there's little things like routines you can do to make your house more efficient, you should also do them. Like when you leave the room, you turn off the light, right? Just regular stuff, saves you money, great. Another reason why that's probably a good idea is the less energy you use, the less of a carbon footprint you're putting on the world, right? You're just doing your part to help out the environment, one tiny step at a time. And if there's something tiny you can do, why wouldn't you do it, right? So yeah, good ideas. Here's one that you are probably not doing right now. This is more when you own your own home. You can get high efficiency clothes washer, dryer, fridge, pretty much all of your appliances, furnace, basically, not washer, basically all your big appliances, they come in high efficiency now, and that means that when they get energy from the wall socket, they use it better than the old ones do. They use a lot less energy per washing load than they used to. So when you use less energy, your whole house is more efficient. It costs less to maintain that. Here's another one. Get better windows. This one's a little bit less direct, with 2 or 3 panes. So in your window, some windows only have 1 pane, which is like 1 sheet of glass. Some have 2 or 3 panes where there's a tiny little bit of air in between the panes, and that helps to insulate the window. The better your window works at keeping the cold out, the less your furnace has to work to keep the warm in, to keep your house feeling warm. So this keeps in warmth, in the winter. It keeps in the cold in the summer, but that's a different problem. And then you could use your furnace less. The more your furnace has to work, the more energy you're using, the less energy efficient you're going to be. So get some better windows. They're not cheap though. And usually a lot of houses have a lot of windows, so that's a big project right there. Here's another one. This is a little bit newer. Get a smart thermostat. Especially if you're getting a new thermostat anyway, instead of getting the $50 option, maybe you want to get the $200 option, which seems like a big step, but you can program it straight from your phone. Even some of the cheap options have options to program, like you turn down the temperature just a little bit at night, or you turn down the temperature just a little bit while you're not at home. Because if you're not at home, it doesn't matter if it's warm in there. I mean, you don't want it to be too cold, but a little colder, that's not going to bother anybody. So get a smart thermostat that you can program. It turns the temp down. When you leave or when you go to sleep. Actually, when you're sleeping, you're supposed to be in a slightly colder temperature than normal, and that helps you sleep better. So not only will you save a little bit of energy, but you'll sleep better. Who doesn't like sleeping better? This one's not new. This came about like 10 years ago or so. Change any light bulbs to LEDs. Now there's like a bunch of different versions of them now. They come in all different shapes and sizes and stuff. But essentially they use a lot less energy to give you the same amount of light. And a lot of light bulbs are even hidden inside the fixture. You can't even see the light bulb. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It just matters that it gives you light. So and nowadays they look kind of more normal than they did when they first came out. So if every light bulb uses less energy, then all the time using less energy, because you're probably using light all the time. And if you forget to turn a light off, it's less of a big deal. You're using less energy, you're wasting less. So this is a really easy one, especially when the light bulb burns out. You just buy an LED instead of incandescent, was what the old ones were called. All right, let's do some calculations here. Dan and Karen pay about $1,700 per year to heat their house with a conventional furnace. The cost of buying and installing a high efficiency furnace is $4,800. Okay, that's pretty expensive to get a new furnace. Maybe they'd wait until the old one breaks down, but maybe they're like, oh, I don't know, we really need a new one. A high efficiency furnace uses 35% less energy than a conventional furnace. How much would it cost Dan and Karen to heat their house with a new furnace? Well, it's going to use 35% less energy, which would convert to 35% less money. Because if we use less energy, that would be less money that we have to pay for this. So let's try and figure this out. $1,700, and I want to know what 35% of $1,700 is. So we're going to multiply, and since this is a percent, we need to change it to a decimal, so 0.35, which if I did this right earlier, $595 that you would save. Oh, so that's savings right there. Savings. So how much would it cost to heat their house? Well, it would be $1,700 minus this amount in savings. Gotta make sure I read the question, hey? $595. $1,105 per year. So you save almost $600 every year. It's still going to cost you over $1,000 to heat your house because it's still expensive. Like, it's not cheap. You're going to have to pay for that anyway. How much would they save? Oh, I already did that. $595 per year. And then here's the last one. Here's actually where it gets interesting. How long would it take for the energy savings to cover the cost of a new furnace? So if we save almost $600 every year, how many years would it take for us to break even? Because right now, we had to buy this brand new furnace and it cost a lot of money. So right now, it doesn't really feel like we're saving money on it because we had to shell out quite a bit of money to pay for it. But every year, we're saving about $600. So let's figure out how long we have to be using this furnace for it to make sense, and then after that point, we will just be saving money. So the cost of the furnace was $4,800, and every year we save this much. So we're going to divide by this much to see how many years that'll be. So 4,800 divided by 595, 4.34 years. Let's just double check that. Yeah, that's not right. I don't know what I had written down over here. 590. Okay, it's 8.07 years. I was thinking like that's around 600. That should be about 8 years. Okay, anyway, 8 years. Now this only really makes sense to do if the furnace is going to last for longer than 8 years. If it only lasts for 8 years, well then we would have broken even and it wasn't really worth the effort. If the furnace lasts for like 10, 20 years, then that could totally be worth it for us because we will have saved money after that. Every year after this 8 years happens, we will save $600 a year. And $600, like I can think of a lot of things to do with $600 a year. I can buy a lot of clothes for that, or a couple of really nice clothes for that. But that's still $600 that I'm just saving, and then I'll be able to spend on other stuff. Alrighty, that's it for this. Try some practice and have a good night.